Fire Infused Ball Lightning leaves ignited ground as it travels, and this makes cast on Elemental Ailment proc a ton. Increasing AoE and reducing projectile speed help the ignited grounds overlap for a single target, but for clear I prefer Speedy Ball Lightning using Villanta's propulsion. I swap it for Zenith 2 for bosses. Projectile Deceleration is also a good choice. At the end of its path, the Ball Lightning explodes, and this can shotgun, so by reducing the projectile speed enough, we can overlap the explosions of the wild charge projectiles. Unfortunately, Comet can consume Fire Infusions, which would rather consume with Ball Lightning, and for some reason when it's socketed in cast on Elemental Ailment, we cannot link Inhibitor to prevent the consumption. Though we can do that when we socket Comet normally. So I suppose this is a bug, and instead I run Arc, which is much better for clearing. It has less post DPS, but it does not consume Fire Infusion. So I use Elemental Equilibrium to generate Fire Remnants with Crossbow. In the Ascendancy tree, I use the improved Arcane Surge to help with the mana cost on bosses and juice rares. The extra Remnants generation is also helpful to sustain Fire Infusions, but it's not mandatory when you run Arc, and then I allocate the Double Shock for a nice TPS boost. From my testing I found that allocating some Flammability Magnitude helps proccing cast on Ignite much more often, so do get some of these nodes on the passive tree. I use two uniques for this build, the classic Maligaro's Gloves, which makes us able to ignore crit damage and focus on crit chance, as well as Cloak of Defiance that enables tanking with mana without reserving Mind over Matter, because this one halves mana regen, and the rest of the gear is typical spellcaster gear with ES and mana. You want at least 30 spirit on your amulet to run Siphon elements, as well as the +2 to all spells levels. On the wand you can go for plus all level spells or just plus all lightning spell levels if you run Arc. And you can look for mana regen, cast speed, spell damage, crit. And that's pretty much the same for the focus. On your rings you can also get a lot of mana, cast speed and mana regen rate. And the rest of the armor is rares with lots of ES, max life, max mana, and your resistances of course. You can check all my gear on max roll. I have invested like 10 divines I think, maybe a bit less. I tried scaling the Ignite itself of the Ignited Grounds for a bit, and I think it's possible to use it for clearing, but would be better with another Ascendancy, maybe Infernalist. So maybe I'll try that if I have it in me to do the campaign for the 4th time this league, so you can grant me some of your energy by subscribing and sharing the video. Have a nice one and see you next time.